Hey guys, in this week's Mind lesson, we're going to be going through action and accountability. Now, if you revisit last week and our goal setting feedback loop, we covered aspire, advice, and aim when we did our self-awareness and goal setting. This week, we're going to go through the follow-up, which is action and accountability. So we need to make sure that we are acting and staying accountable so we can keep feeding back around to eventually ending up with our goal. So let's start off with talking about action. Now, a lot of people talk about actions speak louder than words, but it's very important to know what an action actually is. So I consider actions habits or things that you do on a weekly basis to get to your goal. Now, it's all very well and good goal setting, but if you can't actually follow through and do the steps, it's never going to happen. So I've got a few little tips and tricks today to help you stay on track with your actions and get to your goal. So first up, in your book, you'll notice that you have a habit tracker. So this is my what of your actions. So if you know what to track, then of course you know what to tick off every week. So at the moment, you've got your basic move, mind, munch habits that I recommend that you do every week. You also have a blank section down the bottom. So when you were doing your goal setting last week and setting out the actions that you had to do to get to your goal, you would have known there were certain habits that you individually would need to check out to make sure you get to from A to B. Next up is when. So time blocking is one of my favorite tools to make sure you actually get your actions done. So time blocking means actually blocking out a time in your calendar or your diary to complete these actions. If you just set out your day that you need to do 5 workout sessions a week, but you never put it in, you're never actually going to get it done. So that is the when of your action planning. So time block your actions. Next one is the how, is be prepared. So make sure you're set up well in advance. Every week you should be planning anyway in the first part of your journal, so your weekly plan. So you know what's coming up, but then you have to get prepared. So it's all very well and good planning, but make sure you've set out things so your habits happen. So the day before you go to the gym, make sure your clothes are out and ready to go, or you've got them packed in your bag. Make sure you've had your meals prepped or your smoothie done for the morning so you're ready. Make sure you've set up your little meditation space to get your meditation done in the morning. Make sure that you are prepared. It's a very important part of your actions. As time goes on, they do become habits, so hopefully this becomes a really permanent thing in your life. And then start with why. So always remember at the beginning of each week, when you're setting out your actions and your plans, what we talked about last week, reeling all of your goals back to your original values as to why you're actually trying to achieve this. That's the most important thing to keeping you on track and getting you some discipline. So, my belief in actions and habits is sustainability is more important than intensity. So while you go through all this and have the what, the when, the how, but if it's unsustainable and you can't do it for week upon week, then there's no purpose in doing it because you're going to do it for a short time, then completely either fall off the wagon or continue to beat yourself up every week that you can't actually achieve your habits and your goals, which is the complete opposite of what we're trying to do here, getting you confident in yourself. So sustainability in your habits is more important than intensity. Tick off things that are important for your week and get to your goals, but over a longer term is probably more important than a short, sharp term. But on the flip side of that, discipline equals freedom. So getting your ass in gear and doing your habits each week is extremely important. If you're using that, your bad habits or it's just too hard excuse to get will not get you to your goal. So putting in place discipline is extremely important. But have a balance there. Make sure it's sustainable, not high intensity that you're not going to be able to maintain, but also put in the discipline and the effort because at the end of the day, that's where you'll see the results, the goals, and of course your freedom and confidence in yourself. So hopefully that gives you a few tips and tricks on your actions and actually getting shit done every week. Now, for this last bit, the fifth bit of the goal setting feedback loop, accountability, is one of the most important parts of getting your results. If you continue to set your goals and put in actions, but you never actually reflect on what you're doing, you're not going to know what's working and what's not and what to change. There's a great quote by Einstein that says, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So this is why accountability is so important, because if you reflect on what you're doing and it's not working, it's time to make a change. If you reflect on it and it is working, then you know 100% what you should continue doing. So in accountability, we're starting with the reflection. So you've probably seen it in your journal, the reflection portion right after your planning. This should be done at the end of every week after you've gone through, done all your actions, you've set out your plan, you're ready for a reflection. I usually do them on Sundays, so I'm ready to make my next plan for the next week. So putting in place your reflection every week is very important. This is also a regular check-in, so it's a great way to make sure that you're on track to your goals, which I'll talk about in a second. My biggest question I ask when I start my reflection is, did I achieve what I set out to do this week? So going back to what I said before about sustainability over intensity and discipline equaling freedom, if you're doing something and you realize either it was too much, like you tried really hard but you just could not get all the stuff done that you said, or you're underperforming and you're not getting your ass out of gear and getting it done, then that's the balance of making sure you've got to have that happy medium. Can I go out and achieve this and get it done? If so, awesome. If it's too much, you're going to have to reel it back. If you're not putting in enough effort, you're going to have to step up your game. So that's the point of the reflection is, did I achieve what I set out to achieve this week? And we do this by asking, what did I do well? So label what you actually did great. What could you have done better? So where could you really up your game? And what did you learn that you could take to the next week? So growth is through learning. So if you do have a failure or something you didn't go so well at, either was it a problem with your execution where you're not able to do it very well? Or on the other hand, was it just too damn hard, you couldn't manage it with your whole workload and you're going to have to reel it back. If you can do that, then you'll see massive success because the next week around, you would have clarified and refined your goals and your actions for your goals to help you stay on track. Now, my biggest thing is, if you're reflecting every week and you're noticing good change, you're getting in your habits and your actions, awesome, keep consistency and don't make any big changes for about 4 weeks. So if you're chipping along, you're eating your recommended amount of calories, you're getting your right amount of workouts in, you're doing your mindfulness meditation habits, that's great. Keep consistency and keep reflecting around each week as you're doing well until about 4 weeks. Then it's time to really reflect on whether your actual plan is working. If you're not seeing results at that point, it's time to either go back to our feedback loop, learn better information. So do you have enough knowledge to get to where you want to go? Make a better plan, put something else in place so that it can actually push you through to the next level, or change your habits. Because if you're not seeing the results that you want after about 4 weeks and you've been consistent and you've been on point, there's probably time to tweak your plan a little bit. But the point is here not to overhaul everything, just go back to the basics and go make sure that you know everything that you need. Now, with the consistent action in the right areas, you will see results. Hopefully today you've had a little bit more of an idea as to what actions actually are and how you can actually implement them into your week, why they're so important. Then of course, the importance of accountability and how looping back around and double checking whether you're on the right path with your knowledge, with your plan and with your actions to get you to your goals. I'll see you next week, guys.